I think it's a total commitment to the pleasure and understanding of your partner.
I think it's a combination of chemistry and affection. You get that tingling feeling. Yeah.
You realize that you want to spend the rest of your life with this person, and you're committed to that, to making that work.
At first, yeah, kind of chemistry thing.
I think we were just friends to begin with, and got to know each other, and finally decided that this is the one I wanted to spend the rest of my life with, and I just kind of grew from there.
Yeah, when I first saw Papa, I thought he looked like me. He could be the one. He had such a great smile, and that's that chemistry thing. But then, as soon as we started getting together and going out, I saw what a great person he was. And the big thing was being. Yes.
I think so. Most relationships start with a physical attraction. You know, you look good and what have you, but that's just the surface. You really need to find out what this person is all about, likes, dislikes, and those type of things that will eventually lead from friendship to a commitment forever.
Yeah, that moment that I looked across the room and saw his smile grew into a lot more when we started dating.
Oh man, there's a lot of it, but I would say that the biggest challenge is learning to live with that other person. That it's a big difference from dating to marriage and 24/7 and putting up with them putting up with your little idiosyncrasies and those events that you just really didn't realize until you woke up that first morning, and now you're with somebody that now you need to get to know them extremely well.
24/7, yeah, pretty much. Really important. Yeah, yeah, I think that's one of the number one things you need to tell people how you feel. You need to tell your mate and not keep them guessing.
Yeah.
And if you have a complaint, you need to say it.
Yeah.
And you need to also be telling them about all the good stuff too.
And probably not only speaking but listening is a real key as well. Hearing what that person is really saying, because they're not always 100% accurate with what they're saying, and there's a lot of hinting that it needs to be listened to. And what are you really trying to say?
Women are famous for, and it's true that you are supposed to know that when we say I'm fine, we're not fine. You better be finding out why. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
You know, it's real easy to hide behind a text or a Facebook message as opposed to a face-to-face contact. The other side is, I think television is probably portraying something that isn't. A lot of the sitcoms, a lot of the movies, it's just not real life. And you see these things that just really aren't true. There's a lot of work that goes into being married that they don't portray in the movies, etc. And you can tell a lot of lies over the internet and through your texting that really doesn't portray you as who you really are.
So I really think that a phone call or seeing the person in person is a lot better than, I think texting is nice to keep in touch and let somebody know where you are. There's times when Papa was working, that I would have loved to have known, and we couldn't keep in touch as much. But I still think phone calls, face to face, and a handwritten note mean a lot.
Yeah, I think that you're able to see the reaction of that person to what you're saying. They can question you further about how you really feel. Where in a text, it's just kind of there on your phone, and you're guessing at what they really mean.
Especially, I think, when you're together, you should be paying attention to each other and not
Texting,
texting everybody else. You need to be with the one you're with.
Yeah. Lack of commitment, lack of willing to make it work. It's too much physical and not near enough commitment to making it really work. You know, being married's a hard job, and you are always trying to make that work together to keep and probably overlooking a lot of little things that you might find irritating. Instead of working those out, too many people just throw it away and say, I'll find me another.
Now, when you hit a bump in the road, but I think people need to remember their vows, the good times and the bad, and then sickness and health. And it does take work to get through the bumps.
It's not easy to work through those. It takes a lot.
And a good sense of humor.
Yeah, and a lot of forgiving.
And a lot of forgiving, yeah, on both sides.
Communication.
Communication, they need to get to know each other. Don't be in a rush. And I think you need to think about some of the things that you want from a marriage. I have a friend that got married. She didn't know that her husband never wanted children. So that, you need to kind of find out about the person, what their wants and goals from marriage is, too.
Yeah. And talk about it, work it. I'm trying to be a lot less selfish than I have over the years. I think that has probably been one of the big things, to understand where she's coming from and her wants and needs and desires.
I think you need to be there for each other. You need to remember that you're a team, and
A lot of compromise, I think, has been a real factor in keeping us together. And,
most of it's all good, but in 48 years you do have a few bumps along the way.
yeah.
But we never give up, and he
Yeah.
always ends up making me laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, and that thing about not going to bed But mad, always kissing goodnight, that's important. It's hard to stay mad when you kiss somebody goodnight.
Yeah. Ensure that this is the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. I think that's number one. Too often today, it's a physical thing, and it's an, oh well, if it doesn't work out, we'll move on. And that just isn't the case. You really need to know that this is the one for you, and that the physical part will someday be different, and you will really want to ensure that when you're older, that you're willing to push the other person around in a wheelchair, help them in and out of the car, make sure they're taken care of and looked after. That you're willing to sacrifice whatever you need to be committed to that other person later on in life. We're very fortunate that we're not in that position right now, and but when we get to that point, then we're going to have to be committed and give up what we're doing to be committed to that person 24/7.
Yeah. You need to be committed to each other and making it a success.